Hello folks, welcome to Prospector R210 Part 7 by Callisto8413, and I have a little problem. My audio didn't record, but the video did. So I am recording as I'm watching this in Movie Maker. Now, as you can guess, I can't remember every single detail. But just to give you a gist of what's going to happen, we're going to explore westward with the ship. And we're going to run into a few little issues here and there. And yes, one of our members will be killed again. But I'll keep that a surprise so you can learn it, see what happens on your own. We're going this way because I want to, one, explore. I'm looking for that alien planet or any other alien planets. As you can see, we're exploring systems right now. And this is where I think one of the planets where we will lose one of the members of the crew. But I won't tell you who, because I want to keep that a surprise. But his name starts with B. Yeah, it's Bill Nye. We're going to lose Bill Nye. But the planets we find aren't very interesting. One or two are. There's actually quite a few artificial buildings, mining facilities, stuff like that. But also hostile people. I think we're going to get there quite soon, in fact. I think this might be the planet itself. It looks like this planet has humans on it, but when we try to talk to them, they scream. So it seems that they might be infected. So, but in a sci-fi meaning, not in a Walking Dead meaning, as in there's probably aliens inside them controlling them, stuff like that. So I think this is where we lose the Bill Nye. Then we have to go back, get another science officer, and so on and so forth. So we don't finish exploring this planet because we run into, you see I'm picking up stuff. But then we run into somebody who says they're, it's like, wait, what is that? It says it's hostile. Whoa, and then I start fighting and getting my butt kicked because there's more than one of them. Yeah. So boom, boom, boom. And our guns are pretty worthless. And on top of that, my spacesuit or something happens, I get hurt. Captain Mal gets hurt. And hallucinates. So it could be that the humans on this planet have been exposed to something, a virus or a gas. But at the end, I decided to do a tactical withdrawal back to the space station because I no longer have a science officer and I'm hallucinating, as that says. So I decided to go back, get a science officer, go put myself in a little hospital for a while, then come back and we explore the other planets. Now, that's not the only excitement. We also, to give certain things away, find another space station. We find a planet with aliens already on it, somewhat advanced civilization. I find out that where Station 2 and 3 are the major ones, not the minor ones, because I learned how to read the map. I find the log book. I also find the quest book because I'm trying to figure out how to sell my cargo to the Station 2, but it's not Station 2. Yes, so much confusion. How are you doing? And yeah, this is about a half an hour probably. So you're going to hear me just saying, hey, now I do this, and now I do this, instead of me going, oh my god, no, I'm going to die. A lot less panicky. Though I'm not using a mic, so I'm not sure exactly how well this is coming through. And this is me deciding, yeah, I probably should go back to the station. Because if I try to do any more landings, well, I won't have any crew left. I only have now 2 people on the away team. One of them is not a science officer, which is kind of annoying because that science officer, Bill Nye, was able to talk with aliens. Ironically, we'll get a new science officer who's pretty good at close combat. Amazingly. We could have used him earlier. Also, these weapons seem to suck. I mean, if they're just bouncing off people, it's just, it's not really very effective. I'm shooting rockets at people. And the other person's shooting kind of well, I'm not sure how to even, like an energy weapon, and it's not working, so I don't know. So yeah, I'm getting the fuel, making sure I'm not sick. And also buying a basic infirmary for the ship, so that maybe this won't happen in the future. If instead of coming back, I could actually cure myself on the ship. That would be nice. So here we are getting new personnel, new science officer, and once again you can see we found one who's good at close combat. So now we are figuring out, well, you can't really train people, they need promotions. Now we're leaving the station, we're going back to the well, first we're going to make sure that the science officer actually has some sort of weapons. And then we'll go back to the system and explore the rest of the planets. Not sure why I'm taking so long. And we run into Sulfide on the way back. So it looks like we ran into a tiny little station. Not actually that tiny, it's pretty big. But it's not Station 2, and I thought it was there for a while. And it's only a minor station. But I spent a lot of time running around trying to figure out how to sell my cargo, and failing. I go to the bar, nope. I go to the casino, nope. I go to Mud, nope. Mud, M-U-D-D. I try to find every place that I can find to see, hey, is this cargo you? I even talked to the actual people walking around. Weird. But nope. Not everything here is easy and logical, which is good. You don't want to get too frustrated, but you don't want to go, hey, that was easy. But on the other hand, I was like, isn't this Station 2? Shouldn't there be some place where I should sell the cargo? Because isn't that my quest? So here I am running around the station, and it's a pretty big station for a station that's supposedly just drifting around in space. Memories. And yeah, you have to kind of go around the station without bumping into anybody, because the same keys for moving around, also the same keys for attacking people. So if somebody's in front of you and you try to move into them, the game, the game is going to ask, hey, do you want to shoot this person? I'm like, no, I don't want to shoot this person. Sometimes you're like, yes, I want to shoot this person. Kill, kill, kill. But yeah, you don't want to start a firefight on the station. Unless you're actually planning to start a firefight on the station. But whatever. I'm beginning to think I need to bring more people on my away team, but that means I need more weapons. So, I don't know. Maybe I should bring in the gunner and give him a gun and give somebody a hand grenade. Though I really shouldn't use hand grenades, but yeah, this is me trying to figure out if I could sell my cargo if it's listed on my list of equipment, and it is not. Also, I was trying to figure out how to sell damaged suits, but the thing is, both suits, 2 suits are damaged. I think both suits are damaged, and I don't want to sell both suits because that would bring my away team number of suits down to 2. One of them is just a plain space suit, and it's not really designed for combat. So, more ship management running around. If I didn't do this recording, I would just have tossed this video and go to part 8 and say part 7 screwed up. So, and I think there is some things interesting enough in this part. So that's me figuring out quests. Woo, I get to have cargo to Station 2, and I'm like, well, I thought this is Station 2. Later on, I'll figure out the log system, so. I think one of the black holes, by the way, might have a planet in it. I'm not too sure. Not that sure if that's very useful. It might be. Yeah, here I'm exploring the whole station, just trying to figure out where do I sell this cargo? Where do I sell this cargo? Where do I sell this cargo? Even talking to people right now at this point, I'm like, can you tell me? You say anything? The funny thing about communicating with other people in this game is that the non-player characters, if they don't have anything to say, they really don't have anything to say. And when they do, it's kind of a branching menu system. It's you talk to somebody and suddenly you get all these multiple choices. It's like, oh, this person might be interesting to talk to. Yeah, I'm looking again. Landing pads, nothing else to see there. Can I talk to you? No. Yeah, you're just another casino. I think I tried to talk to the representative a couple times in the hopes of finding out if he knew anything about the cargo. But he didn't. So I'm starting to figure out that maybe I should just go back to my ship and continue to explore, because I have fuel and I have a science officer, and this is a waste of my time. And all the branches, some of these don't even lead anywhere. That literally is an empty room. It doesn't even have launching pads. It's like they made up as part of the station for the sole purpose of expanding on later, and that's the same thing. That's an empty room. Alright, and here we go back to the system, and we continue to explore. And not all the planets are worth bothering with it. I moved by accident. Instead of pushing scan, instead of pushing scan in the arrow key, I pushed the arrow key. Yeah, a lot of these are just corrosive atmosphere. They don't have anything of interest on them. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. One I landed on, and I'm going to run around, but I don't think I do much besides collecting material. Yeah, I'm gonna do one of the go around the planet, walk around the planet. Picking up some material, but overall, this part will not be very profitable. We spend a lot more money on damages, fuel, and getting trying to cure the captain than we get out of any of our exploration. Even finding an alien planet with spaceport and buildings doesn't seem to be worth that much to any of the traders or anything like that. See, this is me trying to go back to the station to figure out if I could sell any of this stuff. And nobody wants it. The problem is, I'm starting to realize that not every station has the same facilities, and therefore not every station has the same branches of the businesses or corporations you deal with. So that's a problem. That's a problem. Once again, I'm trying to figure out what I could sell or buy, and I don't really want to sell that material to anybody. So once I get refueled and repaired, I go back out to explore again. And I'm about to find another, there, a star, a single one, with a single planet, but an interesting one. This one seems to have artificial structures on it that don't look human at all. Those little green things look like huts. Those aren't human. So I decide to land on one of their space platforms. And right next to us is in fact a spaceship, but not one of our spaceships. And right next to that, that's a spaceship. I can't take it though. And the funny thing is the buildings are by the same civilization who made the spaceship. But the aliens have a different name. So the people who made the buildings, and the people who made the spaceship are one race, but the alien race I actually end up talking to and trying to initiate some sort of peace treaty or contact situation are a totally different name. And in some cases just ignore me. So I'm kind of peeved, but also a little confused. It's almost as if somebody else built the colony, then the second race came in and took over. So I was trying at one point, first I was talking about trade, merchants, stuff like that. Other time I was like, well, how do you feel about other races, foreign affairs, stuff like that. So I was pretty careful. I didn't want to talk to him. I don't think I wanted to talk to him about pirates. Excuse me. But I'm trying to figure out this little, in the back of my head there's this little mystery of why is the structure in the ship named one thing with a W, but the aliens I'm talking to, their alien name starts with a C. Was this an invasion? Were the spaceship and building here and they just popped down and moved in? Yeah. So I'm a little interested in what's going on. Not that interested. But it does concern me. Funny enough, like I said, when I went back and sold information about where I've been and who I met, this doesn't seem to count as very useful. I barely got any money. And I don't know if they just didn't count this encounter as useful to them. Because they seem to be a spacefaring civilization. But that ship's not theirs. Or, I should say, that ship wasn't built by them. Maybe they bought it. Maybe these structures are prefabricated structures you buy at Walmart. And they're just made by one race and they're used by everybody else. I don't know. All the landing pads look the same. So, a landing pad has the same function, so I guess it's going to look the same. It's going to have the same form. I mean, an alien planet has a space agency. Their rockets, early rockets, are probably going to be chemical rockets, and they're going to have the same kind of platform. And they're going to have to worry about heat and exhaust from such a launch, so they're going to have the same, probably some sort of liquid or water or vents to allow the heat to disperse. Yeah. So. But here's me deciding that maybe I shouldn't stick around too much because, if I start asking too many questions, wouldn't that get me in trouble if I start to question, hey, you're an alien race on this planet, but your name doesn't match the knowledge of these structures. So, this is me skedaddling. So yeah, looking at other planets. Found another system pretty close to that one. Some of these planets just don't look appetizing. Some of them do. Yeah. So I landed on this one because it kind of looked okay. And I don't have to wear my helmet. But if I remember right, I landed right. My pilot landed right in a bunch of mountains. And even though there was a way to get out of there, I'm not sure if I could go around the planet and come back from the opposite direction, which is why I was peeking at the western area there. And I said, yeah, no. Now there's a few giants. I think there's one giant. And I think we decided to fuel up some more. And then we started looking at the asteroid fields, and unfortunately the asteroid fields didn't have any asteroids worth worrying about. And the last outer planet, frozen, thin atmosphere. Excuse me again. And we landed. And this time I think I did walk around. But once again, I was trying to find if it would be difficult to walk all the way around, and I wasn't too sure about that. And yeah, so I kind of grabbed a few things and then just went back to this spaceship. I was starting to get I got a little too paranoid. In most games, I'm very passive. This is where I'm naming the new scientist Zor. Zor, Z-O-R, not from Power Rangers or anything like that. More from Robotech. But most games I'm pretty passive. Unless it's military games, then I'm over aggressive. So it's kind of a catch-22. I don't want my character to be killed. And therefore I'm so passive and lack any initiative that usually I get killed anyway, because I do other things wrong. While in a military game I usually become overly aggressive, and don't take into account that many games, modern games, have morale and conditions of equipment, and even just, your soldiers can only stay awake for so long before they need to go to sleep. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I'm overly aggressive in the games. I probably should pull back a little bit. While I'm pretty passive in games, I probably should show a little initiative. Like Minecraft, when I used to play that, I really preferred it as a mining game. I actually liked mining. It was very relaxing. Oh yes, this is the planet, which is covered in lava. But I I noticed there was a structure there. So, like, let's try to land on it. Because it was saying, oh, yeah, this is an interesting planet. So I was like, okay, land. Land at the platform. And it turns out to be a mining colony that was abandoned. And I actually found a protective suit. At first I thought it was a human being. But he wasn't moving. I was like, well, he's not aggressive. He's not shooting at me. So I decided to examine him. And lo and behold, it wasn't in him. It was a protective suit all by itself. There, see. So I went down and grabbed him. Then I explored the mind. The mind! Which didn't have anything of use in it. I mean, I looked around. I mean, there is something in the soft wall there, but I don't have any mining tools. I have, I think, explosives, but you really don't want to use explosives. Not in a game where if you do stupid stuff, you die. And playing with explosives if you don't know what the explosive do, that's stupid. You die, It's like Dwarf Fortress if you decide to try to dig a hole under yourself. It's stupid. Minecraft, actually, I think about. So here's me kind of checking out the other buildings, but there's no way to enter them. They're abandoned, so I decide, I got something. Let's make a run for it. And I'm starting to run a little low on fuel, but there's still other things to explore. And I'm obviously talking a lot for some reason. Oh, I don't know. I think that was corrosive. I can't read it from here. Yeah. So I decide, yep. And this is where I decide, yeah, time to go to what I consider the central hub, my home. And I can repair stuff and sell it. And I'm not really impressed by the amount of money. I'm starting to lose money again. Of course, it could be all the people I keep on getting killed. Probably doesn't help. But also, I think at this point I start to look into the idea of having a log, because I know the game does have a log. And it's a capital L, I believe. And I'm fiddling, and there I am. Now, what happens is from top to bottom is all the stars, systems you run into, black holes, stuff like that. And it goes from left to right on the map. But what I discovered is that at the bottom of the list, which is actually also at the top there because central area, it also mentions the major space stations, whether you found them or not. And there's 3 major space stations, and I took a cargo from Station 1, and I was told to deliver it to Station 2. Well, I've run into multiple stations, so I was a little confused, and then this log showed me that Station 2 and 3 are in other parts of the map that I've yet to explore. Station 2 is in fact near the bottom left. Station 3 is the bottom right. So it's kind of a triangle. So I thought that was very interesting, but it also tells me how far I have to go. And probably also how far I have to... First of all, I have to explore more. I have to find more stations, otherwise I'm never going to get down there. It does mean also that when you pick up cargo and they say you could get 200 credits for this, it's probably not worth it because you're going to be spending probably as much fuel as credits. There, Station 2 is right there. Which means Station 3, Station 1, Station 2, and Station 3, which is going to be the next one. There. And then there's other little stations you found, but they don't count as major stations. So that was a little enlightening, and I thought that was somewhat helpful. But at this point, I think it's time to say goodbye, Have a good day. This was part 7. Be safe, wear the masks, and try to do what the doctors and the professionals tell you to do. Be good.